So how long have you lived here, John? About since you're 21?
21, I'm nearly 80, so it's 60 years.
60 years. Yeah. It's a beautiful house as well.
It's lovely, isn't
it? Yeah. A cottage vibe when you get here. It's
It's not too big, it's not too small. It's comfortable and livable. You can live in all the rooms. We've not got an east wing that nobody goes in.
No.
It's lovely. So here we go. I was quite surprised when I was asked to do this. The story about me doing my rhymes is, after losing my wife Chris to cancer in 2020, I wrote my life story, which looked back on the happy times, which helped me to mentally adjust to my new life without Chris. I gave a copy to all that I mentioned in my story, so if I got something wrong or they didn't want me to mention it in my story, I was able to correct it. Being dyslexic, I was surprised how it turned out, as having problems with reading and spelling, and my confidence in writing was very low. The first rhyme I wrote was a shortened story of my life in rhyme, and I called it The Dyslexic Entrepreneur. My life in rhyme as a dyslexic entrepreneur, John Caffrey Dunning. I was born in 1944, just before the end of the war. We lived in Rusholme above the family shop, where the basics in business I did learn a lot. We moved to Bramhall in '53, to a different world for me to see. When I went to school, they said I was thick, although I was good at arithmetic. My spelling was poor and my reading was slow, and my teachers said I had nowhere to go. To work with horses was my aim, but the money was poor and there was nowhere to train. So farming was my way to go, and to Pepper Street Farm on my bike I would go. The hours were long and the pay was poor, but I enjoyed the work and I learnt lots more. To tend livestock and work with nature would set me up for my life path later. Reeves Heath was the college I would attend later, and learnt a lot more about farming and nature. My parents helped me buy a farm with 60 acres and a barn. Times were hard, but life was good. I started a project chopping wood. Along with pigs and sheep to rear, it helped me start my new career. Adlington Young Farmers was the club I joined next, to meet young people with the same interest. They voted me to be chairman, a position I held high, representing them at meetings and in competitions we would try. 2 shops I did purchase and ran for a while, in Cheadle and Didsbury, to my individual style. Farmer John was the name and was remembered by all for feeding their pets and for their plants they would call. At age 44 I built the mill. The economy failed me and I struggled like hell. When things went against me, I didn't give up. I set up Red Barn when the mill was sold up. To help to save nature by feeding the birds, I encouraged the public to feed and observe. I sold multi-millions of feeders and feed, while working long hours and trying to succeed. In '73, I married Chris. Alex and Tom followed and my life was bliss. We produced show ponies for the boys to compete, and to win at Hickstead was not a mean feat. A hunting I would go, with the drag hunt was my aim. The social life was hectic and the parties was the game. I had 2 super horses, they made my hunting fun, and to lead the field weekly as field master had to be done. High peak hunting was filled with thrills. Over the giant walls there were some spills. The going was good and the views were great, a fantastic sport to celebrate. The Cheshire Farmers I did form, with 50 members we were all scorned. I did 1 season with great success, but ran out of funds for me to progress. I've been so lucky in my life to have a faithful loving wife, to raise 2 boys of whom I'm so proud. With loving wives they are both endowed. When I've gone, a party is a must. but you won't see me for flames and dust. There we are.
That's lovely.